Well, if you told me that in the year 2025, we will be sitting here and talking about a classic racing game in Tokyo Xtreme Racer, I would tell you there's absolutely no way. Of course, every year I'm sitting here talking about it as I go back in and revisit some of my favorite games. I pulled out two here today, and the two are Tokyo Xtreme Racer 0 for the PS2 and Tokyo Xtreme Racer Drift. Now, Drift, not so much, but Tokyo Xtreme Racer 0 was a game that after every Gran Turismo play, there was always some Tokyo Xtreme Racer 0 going on my PS2, and I didn't feel like going to go and pull it out. I didn't actually know where my actual jewel cases were for my Dreamcast, but right now, if I were to go and open my Dreamcast, the original Tokyo Xtreme Racer is still in there. I have my Dreamcast hooked up through HDMI, and honestly, I do frequent that game pretty frequently. I've had my same set of save files on my VMUs. If you know what it is, you know. On my Dreamcast for like over, I think at this point, over 25 years, which is pretty crazy. I think the original Tokyo Xtreme Racer came out in the year 2000, so it's been about 25 years now, maybe a little less. But since they've released, I have Tokyo Xtreme Racer 1 and Tokyo Xtreme Racer 2, which ended up turning into 0 on the PS2 later on my Dreamcast. And these have been games I've gone back to time and time again. I also have them on every single emulation device across all my different platforms on every PC, including the one I'm recording on my Steam Deck. I have Tokyo Xtreme Racer 0. I keep wanting to say 0. I have Tokyo Xtreme Racer everywhere. I even have the Tokyo Xtreme Racers on the Game Boy Advance. So this is a franchise that I absolutely love, and I'm glad that it has returned in 2025. So today's video, I'm offering some very early impressions, and I'm going to tell you all of my thoughts on this current form just released on Steam on January the 23rd, 2025. All right, let's go ahead and let's jump in. So let's just get straight to it. Tokyo Xtreme Racer is back. It's exactly what me and all the fans have been absolutely craving. This game doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. Instead, it just gives us the experiences that we had right back once again, and it polishes the core experience that made all the originals so special. Think of it as a love letter to titles like Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3, Tokyo Xtreme Racer 0, Import Tuner Challenge. All these games that we know and love just brought back into the modern age. And it's given us a ton of quality of life upgrades that just make everything smoother, faster, and just way more accessible. From the moment you hit the highway, you're greeted with that classic Tokyo Xtreme Racer vibe, the music, everything. Challenging rival battles, detailed car customization, and the thrill of just simply weaving through traffic under neon light skies. It is awesome. And for just 30 bucks in early access on Steam, it already delivers an experience that has packed this game with heart and with soul. Two things that have been missing in a lot of recent racing games. Because if you're like me, I have been falling out of love with the genre, but after games that I've been playing recently, like the most recent Forza Motorsport, then the most recent the Crown game that recently came out, like it's just been a little disappointing, you know. Test Drive Crown, you know, was just not really great. The most recent Gran Turismo was fine. The most recent Forza was fine. The most recent Need for Speeds have been fine, but there's just been that little missing component. So I'm so glad Tokyo Xtreme Racer is back to give us what we need. Now let's talk about the gameplay, and let's talk a little bit about the handling. So the gameplay loop is super simple. It always has been, but it's been very effective. You start with the humble ride, whether it is a Suzuki Swift, an MX-5, or of course my favorite and probably yours too, the AE86 or the Terreno. That is going to be the ride that I went with. You know, I felt a little Takumi. And you're going to end up slowly building up your way as you battle rivals, get money, take them out, earn cash, upgrade your cars, all the fun stuff. The handling leans fully into arcade territory. Yesterday, I was playing on my Steam Deck, you know, for the very first time. My wife walks in and she was like, "Why are you playing this old game again?" And I was like, no. This is not the old game. This just came out. It's brand new. And she was like, "Why does your car look like that? Why is it so floaty? Why does it look like you're playing in an arcade?" And I was like, that's the point. So just trust me, it was pretty fun. But regardless, the handling is going to be responsive. It's going to feel grippy. Controls that are going to just be hitting are going to make you weave in and out of traffic with no problem. Hitting you with high speeds that feel absolutely great. This game, what it really offers, it's approachable to even somebody brand new to the series. It might lack a little depth that hardcore racers or sim racers are really looking for, but I think for the vast majority of folks, it really has what you need. You can even drift. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't nailed it yet. I haven't really been trying yet, you know, but it's there, and I've seen some clips on Twitter, so it can happen. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off myself, but hey, feel free to go give it a try. Sometimes, you know, it can feel a bit stiff as well, too, a little stiffy, just due to the game's strong downforce mechanics, because they are there, right? And nothing is going to take away, though, from all the overall fun when weaving out those awesome Japanese streets. When it comes to customization and tuning, customizing in Tokyo Xtreme Racer 2025 strikes a balance, and it has simplicity and there's a lot of detail. So it's really going to be what you make it. You can tweak suspension, you can tweak settings, fitments on your car. You can even choose between soft, medium, and hard tires. At first, I couldn't quite feel the difference until you actually started getting a little speed behind you. Now, depending on your racing style, you're going to choose whatever fits you, right? The game doesn't really go overboard with its initial options, but if you want to go into them, they're there. Each car also has some modification you can do to the exterior. Each car is going to have about 3 body kits per each category, and what's there really look fantastic. You want to do a little Fast and Furious while a little neon underglow? We gotcha. It's check. I threw some purple on my 86. Brake caliper customization? Yep, that's there too. It's not going to be the most in-depth system, but it's really robust enough to make your ride feel personal. Rival battles and open world features. So the rival battles remain really the heart of the game, and that's going to be the thing that you're going to do the most often. Those damn taxis, I'm looking at you. So whether you're challenging some of the team leaders that are wandering around with unique requirements, or you're just trying to race them random traffic cars, there's always going to be a new opponent waiting to push your limits. The SP, aka the Spirit Points, this battle system returns and it works well. Though, it would be nice to see some tweaks or penalties for hitting traffic and such, because again, sometimes you're a little floaty, so you're going to be hitting traffic, but there's no really penalty to it. Now, talking about traffic, the density and the dynamic flow are just right. It's never overwhelming, and there's just enough challenge whether you are taking on traffics or you're taking on specific bosses. The open world of Tokyo highways are also super vibrant. Yesterday, I was geeking out because I was telling the wives, like, hey, go look over there. There's Tokyo Tower. There's the Sky Tree. Isn't that freaking cool? It's just really cool to be able to see when you're looking that there is just detail packed within the world. There's also going to be, you know, features that return like time attacks. There's going to be speed cameras, and there's even an autopilot mode when you want to just look at your car. I mean, when you want to take a quick breather. So that's there too. The lack of weather effects and time of day cycles are a bit noticeable, but I mean, at the end of the day, if memory serves, you're just thinking about Tokyo Xtreme Racer at night. So it doesn't really detract too much from the immersive experience that it's trying to give us, especially when we're cruising through all these freaking awesome highways. Now, the performance and visuals. I want to just remind you guys once again, I played on Steam Deck. So I haven't booted it up on my 4070 Ti or my big, powerful, beefy PC. I wanted to have an experience that could be mobile, that could basically plug in and out of my PC, and I could capture footage really easily. So let me just throw it like this. First off, it's an early access game. We just all got to remember that. But Tokyo Xtreme Racer 2025 runs really, really well. And like I said, on the Steam Deck, it maintains a really, really rock solid 60 frames per second. Now, albeit it was just defaulted to low settings and to the specific settings that, you know, not DLSS, but it basically has that trickery going on. But I mean, it looks fantastic. Of course, if you're going to be playing on a higher end PC, considering it looks so effing good on Steam Deck, I imagine that you're going to be able to just push this to the limits, and it's going to look the best it can and run amazingly, even on not like the highest end graphics card. Now, this game is built on Unreal Engine 4, which has been proven and proven again to be a great platform. So this game is going to be striking a balance for us when you look at it for mostly nostalgia, but it has that modern flair. It has really good lighting, really good reflections, And there's even some buildings that you can see that have a lot of detail pack on them on the Tokyo highways. And it's just really bring those highways to life. Though there's going to be some distant details that can feel a bit dated, but at the end of the day, you have to really be stopping and looking for all those to really really notice. At the end of the day, it's a huge, massive quantum leap from if you go and boot up the PS2 or even the Xbox 360 game. It's a massive jump. Now, the jump isn't going to feel too crazy if you've been emulating the past games like I have on the systems. You've been beefing them up, putting them in 4K, maybe adding on some additional add-ons to them. But just know it is striking, and I think that little hint of nostalgia that it has, it just does something that it unlocks something in my brain that makes me happy. Now, let's talk about the music and the audio. Tokyo Xtreme Racer, this 2025, of course, it's gonna have to have a killer soundtrack, right? Like part of the music is part of the games. That's just what it is. And Tokyo Xtreme Racer 2025 just absolutely nails it. I feel like because I've played about, four-ish hours of the game so far, I don't think I've heard every track, but so far what I have heard has remixes of classic tracks that blend some of that old school nostalgia with some freshness, some new to it. The nitrous effects also sound really good, but the engine audio could use a bit more punch or variety. Yesterday, I was even looking at some of the settings, and I was going in there kind of like, man, why can't I hear my engine more? Like, I just did an intake system. I just did a exhaust system. I just did my transmission. I can't hear my shifts. So it was a little disappointing there. I even, messed with my settings. I put everything down to 70, and then I left my engine noise at 100. And I didn't quite get that punch I wanted. But again, this is early access, so they could definitely work on this a little bit better. And I only got to use the A86. I didn't get more variety with the cars. So I'm sure as I get more cars, maybe like a Skyline, GTR, and, maybe some Subarus, maybe I'll get some additional funness out of it. This is just my personal experience with, again, early impressions. Adding some additional sounds too could be really cool. I would love if they gave us some city sounds, right? Like, I don't even know what that would really sound like, but maybe just like hearing people pass by, or, maybe just, I don't know, maybe like just some additional sounds or microphones. I don't know what it is, but just some additional city stuff just to make the city that you're driving in feel a little bit more alive would be really cool. Maybe somebody screaming at somebody else or just honking the horns. I think that would really bring the world more to life. All right, let me hit you all up with my final thoughts. Tokyo Xtreme Racer 2025 is exactly what I needed in the racing genre to just reinvigorate me. I really haven't been playing too many racing games just because they've all kind of felt bland. I told you guys earlier the game I couldn't remember the name of, but Test Drive Crown. I jumped in, I played a few hours, and I was really disappointed. So I feel like you need this. I feel like I needed this. It's focused. It's a passion-driven project that reminds us why we all fell in love with the series in the first place. I can almost guarantee that if you jumped in day one, it's because you're like, oh my god, it's back. Of course, it's not perfect. The handling, it's love it or hate it. It could use a bit more depth just depending on what you're looking for. Some of the visual aspects can feel old and dated. Of course, for you and me, it's a little bit of that nostalgia drip. But for somebody who's brand new, it could be like, this doesn't really look that good. And we could totally get it. But at the end of the day, it's clear that the developer that we love, Genki, understands what makes Tokyo Xtreme Racer special. They're committed to delivering an experience that fans will love. And at the end of the day, it's $30. It's a freaking steal. Of course, even in early access, which, we've seen tons of early access games. Pell World, I'm looking at you, just absolutely crush and take off. So even though it's early access, we know two things. One, we get in early and we get to experience some fun early. And two, we're going to end up getting the final version of the game, which is just going to end up being better. So if you love the early access version, you're just going to get more better. I don't even know if that's how you say it. But if you're a longtime fan or you're new to the series, this is one highway of entry you don't want to miss. Of course, maybe if you play too much, it can get old super quick. But, to come and do some bursts, do a couple hours here and there, I think it's just a perfect game. For me, Tokyo Xtreme Racer is back, and I can't wait to see how this new decade, this new era, I don't know how you want to say, I can't wait to see how it's going to just, unfold for all of us. That's it, my friends. That's it for today's video. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Tokyo Extreme Racer 2025. Are you as hyped as I am, or I was going into it? Are there features? Have you played it? Are there features you'd like to see added? You know, are you deeper into the game than me? Like I said, I'm about four, maybe almost 5 hours in. What would you like to see now that you maybe are a little bit further than I am, or a lot further? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more gaming news and reviews. I've been Dom from the Game Looters, and I'll see you on the next ride. Peace out, my friends.